Hello, guys. We have about 2 weeks until Diviner of the Herald is releasing. And in honor to that, I would like to actually show a couple of Nekroz combos that you can do with Diviner of the Herald. A disclaimer is that these combos are not needle fiber combos. For the needle fiber combos, just look at anybody else but me. I don't want to play them. I don't want to show them off here unless there's like a lot of want for it, but generally I wanted to show off non-needle fiber combos because they don't require the playing of Auroradon or stuff like that. But anyways, so the first combo is Diviner plus any spell card. That means, and technically, Pot of Prosperity, if it excavates Diviner, is also full combo. So let's get into this one. So Diviner, normal summon, send heralds, search Brionac. Then Brionac, search Klaus, search Cycle. Then you cycle tribute the Diviner because it's level 6 to special summon Nekroz of Brionac. Then you activate the effect of Diviner, specialing Cyber Egg Angel. You may wonder why you want to special this target out of any other target. This searches Ritual Sanctuary, which is our set up for a grind game, and generally it will set us up with at least 2 grinding options, as you will see. So then I search the Ritual Sanctuary, and then there is where the other spell card comes in. You could have any spell card already engraved because so you don't need to use this effect to add. But you generally have a 90% chance to have the spell card together with the Diviner because you play 20 spells. So then you use the effect to discard the Forbidden Droplet in this case, or you could just activate another Ritual Sanctuary over it, or you could have a Pot of Prosperity or Prep in your grave, which also is a good option. Then you add yourself any light ritual monster or a ritual spell. So I added Kaleido because it's the best one. And then you can activate the second effect, which is the cool part about this. You can shuffle any number of spells from your graveyard into the deck, then target one light fairy monster in your graveyard whose level equals the number of cards you shuffled into the deck. Special summon it. And you can only use each effect of Ritual Sanctuary once per turn. So we got 2 spells in grave and a level 2 fairy a light fairy in our graveyard. So we use it to shuffle back our cycle and Forbidden Droplet, which produces recurrence of cycle for later on, to summon our Diviner of the Herald. So now we have a fairy tuner and a non-tuner that equal 4, so we can actually synchro summon into Herald of the Arclight, and this is our 5th summon. So now we can technically resolve everything under Nadir. We can resolve Nadir here. Unfortunately, we could be nibbed for our Herald, but getting nibbed on our Herald will not hurt us too much because we get the search, and if we get the search in this case, we can Kaleido Unicorn. So keep that in mind. Or if you really need to get rid of this and go for the Unicorn search, you can actually go for the Gravity Controller play, which then adds you the Unicorn. And then for our grind options, we have a Ritual Sanctuary. So if we top deck any spell, it instantly becomes a Ritual spell or a light Ritual monster, which could be Benton or the new Dogmatica White Knight of Dogmatica, which is the Ritual level 8 monster from Dogmatica, which is pretty poggers. And then also what is a grind option is because we hard summon this specific herald, keep in mind that it is this herald. If we ever get 4 spells into our graveyard, we can use Ritual Sanctuary to special summon back this herald. So keep in mind that the herald that you summoned off of the effect of Ritual Sanctuary should stay in grave in case you want to summon a Maximus or something. And always banish the first one. So now for our grind game, we got Diviner of the Herald in our graveyard. So we could go for any push, because Diviner also triggers when it's special summoned, because it's normal or special summoned. which is really strong. And we can search ourselves spells and get spells into the graveyard with Ritual Sanctuary. And recycle ones that we use, like, for example, Mirror or Cycle or Dogmatica Calamity. Other combo here, Ritual Sanctuary plus Brionac, or Benton plus Brionac, or Prep plus Brionac, or Prep plus Benton. All the same thing. This will also set up the same grind game, even though in this case we have Ritual Sanctuary already. So now we go for Searching Cycle, Activate Cycle, Tribute Benton, Special Summon Brionac. Benton is searching as Diviner of the Herald. And now we're going to normal summon Diviner of the Herald, but we're not going to send a Herald of the Arclight. We're going to send Trias Hierarchia. This combo plays into Nib though, so keep that in mind. Then we activate Trias, tributing the Diviner of the Herald, and specialing the Cyber Egg Angel. Then we can use the Cyber Egg Angel to get ourselves another Ritual Sanctuary. Then we can activate Ritual Sanctuary over Ritual Sanctuary, because we already used the first effect, and then we use Sanctuary to shuffle back Sanctuary, and the Cycle to special summon back the Diviner, and then we can link it to another Herald. Standard. Okay, so now we come to two Christia combos that I've found out. Diviner of the Herald plus Brionac is a Christia combo. So, and it has to be specifically Brionac or Benton that you have with Diviner. You can't direct if you search this off of if you would want to if this would be a Unicorn, you could not do the combo. It has to be Brionac. And then you'd use Brionac, search Klaus, search Cycle, activate Cycle, tribute Benton, add Archlord Christia. Then we special summon our Brionac, and then level 6 and level 6 overlay into Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. Then we detach Herald of Diviner of the Herald to send another Diviner of the Heralds or any other fairy monster like a Lancea to our graveyard. And now we have two Diviners, one Benton, and one Herald of the Arclight in our graveyard. So now we're going to special summon Archlord Christia and add back a Diviner of the Herald. And this is in 4 summons a Christia, and we got an out to our own Christia, as well as a Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, that can use its effect to interrupt your opponent by, for example, sending a Farfa. The next combo is Kaleido Unicorn plus Benton, or Unicorn plus Benton, and you of course need the Diviner. This combo works very similarly, but you send Heralds, in this case add Kaleidoscope or Benton, you Kaleido the Unicorn, and your Unicorn is going to search yourself a Brionac, then you activate Brionac, search Klaus, then Klaus search Cycle, then you activate Cycle, tribute Benton, search Christia, overlay into Beatrice. And now keep in mind that our Unicorn is negating Beatrice, but we're still going to use the effect of Beatrice to detach the Diviner of the Herald. So now we will have 2 Herald of the Arclights, 1 Benton, and 1 Diviner of the Herald in our grave. So now we got 4 fairies again, and we special summon. This is 5th summon Christia. And what is very special about this board is our Unicorn is negating the Beatrice. So what will happen if you get Dark Rulered on this board is that the Beatrice will not be affected by the Dark Ruler because it already is negated and cannot be negated again. And as soon as the Dark Ruler resolves, Unicorn is negated and the Beatrice is no longer negated. Therefore, you can use Beatrice effect to interrupt your opponent, which, as you see, plays a little bit around Dark Ruler at the cost of having one interruption traded for another interruption. Okay, so this wraps up 4 of the combos. I'll be working out a couple more combos if possible. Generally, this is... I personally like this specific combo, the Diviner plus Spell card combo, because it gives you this really good grind game. And together with extenders, you can get even more value out. And even the Cyber Egg Angel is not a bad normal summon because you get the Ritual Sanctuary from your deck. So this is like a better driver combo, though it also is more vulnerable to draw because this will actually be affected by draw and Lockbird. So keep that in mind. Another option is because you can synchro 2 and 6 into 8, you could go for a Chaos Ruler and then use Chaos Ruler effect to dig for Dogmatica cards. Then I'll quickly correct this list here. But generally, this is a very rough sketch of how a list could look like. We've cut down one Maximus to one Maximus because Maximus is not as good in coming versions of this deck because you will be using Nadir Servant to more likely search Dogmatica Alba's Knight because Dogmatica Alba's Knight is 500 attack and Nadir Servant allows you to search um, any ritual monster or spell because it now can send Herald of the Arclight because Herald of the Arclight has 600 attack. And therefore, consistent end board is going to be stuff like Dogmatica Alba's Knight, or White Knight of the Dogmatica, how he's called now, plus Unicore, which already is a decent board, but unfortunately also gets beaten by Dark Ruler and Pancratops and stuff. Still, this is pretty okay. You have also options to go into a Psyframe Lord Lambda, to play with your Psyframe Gear Gamma. You can also go for a Zolkin play if you go for the route with Bent and Diviner. All in all, pretty cool stuff you can do with Diviner. Not sure if it's absolutely necessary, but for now I would say get the Dogmatica stuff and hold out on the Diviners if you don't have the money, but if you have the money, be sure to buy yourself a Cyber Egg Angel, 2 Ritual Sanctuaries, and to also buy yourself a Trias Hierarchia, which are all very cheap purchases. Also, getting a Benton is a good option. And as a little bonus, I'm also going to show you what you can do with Nadir plus any Nekroz searcher. So in this case, we will open Nadir plus Klaus. And now you activate Nadir Servant. Send Herald of the Arclight, search yourself Dogmatica Alba's Knight. Then you can search yourself your Unicore, and then you can discard Klausulas to search for Kaleido, Kaleido for Unicore, send Herald, and you then get to add Dogmatic Calamity. And then you can activate Dogmatic Calamity, sending a Titaniclad, the Ashen Dragon, to special summon the Dogmatica Alba's Knight, and in the end phase, you get the option to use the Titaniclad to either add or special summon an Ecclesia. And if you want to play Fleur de Lis, you can add Fleur de Lis for a 3rd interruption that plays around Nibiru, because you already have a Dogmatica monster. And as soon as your opponent activates any effect, you're going to look at his deck and rip one of his core extra cards out of it. Also, then you have the option with Alba's Knight to, if your opponent responds on your turn with anything, you can send Omegas or Ints to respond accordingly. Or like even go for a big send and OTK. Anyways, this is it from me. Looking forward to Lightning Overdrive and grinding with this specific deck.